4 stages, with the second one having 2 categories.
So Dwight, could you speak to the stages of retirement? I know some people are thinking they might retire before 65, or maybe they're going to work till 70. Really, those stages of retirement and what that looks like and the financial impact. Could you speak to that?
You know, we work with all different ages of clients, but I would say if there was one particular client that is the most common, and that's usually people that are, 3 to 5 years
Okay.
away or sooner. And so I would call that kind of the countdown stage. That is the first stage I would call in our practice. Looking at that and kind of getting all your ducks in a row. That's when they come to us and say, hey, is it feasible for us to retire in 3 years? We do it on a spreadsheet so we can actually look at it with the client on one sheet of paper with their income sources and their assets and their expenses. And then we do a stochastic model, which is a fancy thing. It's a computer program that does sequence of returns and all that stuff. So we crunch that out. So that is kind of the pre-retirement countdown stage. But we're also making adjustments too, realizing that we're going to launch. We have to adjust their portfolio to more of a retirees type of portfolio. And the last thing we like to do in that stage is really build a taxable cash buffer, a larger emergency fund, if you will.
Okay.
Ideally, if we can do it 18 or 24 months of living expenses. That way, if the market goes completely haywire the day you retire, then you're good for 2 years at least.
Okay.
The second stage is, I would say there's 2 different types of people in this stage. Those are the people that retire prior to 65 and the ones that retire after 65.
Is there a big difference there?
Well, yes, because 65 is when Medicare kicks in.
Okay.
So you qualify for the health insurance at that point in time. So let's talk about the first one. So if you retire at, say, 60, okay, you've got to pay for health insurance, right?
Yikes, right?
Yeah. And we talked about this earlier, but we recently had a client retire at 59 and 60 respectively, and their health insurance bill was potentially going to be $1,700 a month in the year that they retired. So managing income and your modified adjusted gross income so that you can qualify for healthcare subsidy premium subsidy is huge. And so managing through that period of time by keeping your income lower to Uncle Sam, you're still getting income for expenses, is huge. And how we do that? Well, it revolves around decisions you're going to make. Are you going to take a lump sum pension or a monthly pension, which could increase your income? We help people make their decision as to when they draw the Social Security, and so.
Okay.
But so then you've got basically stage. We were on stage 2. So the second people would be people that retire after 65, so they've got their health insurance. That period of time between 65 and when they start to draw Social Security, whether that's 67, they put it off to 70, that's another period of retirement, or we might be able to do Roth conversions if it's appropriate.
Okay.
Which, again, you're trying to keep your income manageable so that you can do that at a low tax bracket. Then, only 2 more stages. The time between when you draw Social Security and when your RMDs start, your required minimum distribution.
Okay.
That period is the last time you can really do kind of some tax finagling to lower your tax situation and potentially convert money to Roth. Because once you get to the required minimum distribution stage, and that's what you have to take out of your IRAs by the government.
We'll have to talk about that later and what that means, because some of us are not altogether as familiar with the acronyms and the required minimum distribution.
Required minimum distribution.
Because it sounds very important.
Well, you have to take it or it's a 50% tax.
Super important.
Yeah.
Okay, 100% important.
But once you get to that stage, and they just raised that last year to 73, and then some folks it'll be 75.
Wow.
So then you'll get another window maybe from 67 to 75 where you could do some other things. And then once the RMDs kick in, it's all of that, for all practical purposes, the tax planning stuff, unless you've got a business or real estate or some really special circumstance, there's not a lot of control that we can do based on the code today. So that's kind of the 4 stages, with the second one having 2 categories.
Okay, 4 stages.
Yeah.
4 stages of approaching retirement.
Well, and being in retirement.
Being in retirement.
Yeah, right. I would say the approachment stage, the time between when you retire and when your Social Security kicks in,
okay.
between Social Security kicking in and your RMD, and then the period after that. Those are the 4 stages.
Very important stages, and we have to remember them for sure, because I didn't know about that till we started having this conversation, and I'm sure there are a lot of folks who are unfamiliar with that as well.